I grew up in the era before Spotify and smartphones. For my sister and I, we often listen to music by cycling through the free MVs included with our TV's on-demand section. You have no idea how many times I've seen the music video for My Happy Ending or Breakaway. Nowadays, anime music videos have evolved to be incredibly creative and emotive, with some of the catchiest songs to boot. And it usually has me reliving those past years, jumping up and down on the couch to I Write Sins Not Tragedies. Here are your nominees for Best MV of 2025.
And the winner for the jury is On Being by Max Cooper and Félix Gerbelot. And the winner for the public is Watch Me by Yoasobi.
Pretty good.
Hopefully I got
Bonjour.
that. Hopefully I got that right.
Now, Hayden, when we were talking about what categories you wanted to guess for, you specifically mentioned music video. Can you explain why you requested that and what you think of the winners?
Well, I'm more of a video editor. I do make videos, but like I don't see myself as a incredible writer. I mostly see myself as like I'm interested in doing visuals, and writing is like an excuse for me to have something to work with to make cool visuals too. And that's what I love about music videos. It's that you have a song and then you get to be as creative with the visuals as you want for that song. Like the winner for the jury, On Being. This one reminded me a lot of the work of Mirai Mizue, in particular Fantastic Cell, and the embryo develops into a fetus, where it's like a very sort of flow state animation. The song itself is not necessarily a single as much as it is an accompaniment. It's almost like a storyboard to the music video itself. The song doesn't make sense without the video, is probably the best way I would describe it. But this one, it's very simple, like line art, sort of sketchy animation, but it's very like growing. It tells a story of aging, much like the works of Mirai Mizue, as I mentioned. It's one of those concepts that are very timeless. It's a very timeless art style. It's always something that is going to resonate with the people who can appreciate this sort of art. And I think it will stand the test of time.
Is that what the general jury sentiment was, Egg?
Yeah, On Being was like a late addition. It was kind of nominated or shortlisted very late in the process, but it quickly became one of our favorites just because of how deep it was and how much there was to kind of dig into. Like, for example, there's these small little messages that appear all over in the music video, and those messages are actually a crowdsourced thing from the creator Max Cooper. He asked the question, what do you want to express that you feel you can't in everyday life? And he used the responses that people sent in and put them in the video. And there's also a interactive website that he built which plays the music and shows all of these different things that I highly recommend going and checking out. The link is in, if you go on YouTube, you can find it in the description.
No, that's really cool as a concept. I didn't think about that. You know, you talked about the music video being kind of about aging and that kind of process. Does that connect with the website and the ask for submissions?
Yeah, I can give a few examples. A lot of them are very stark sentences that people wrote in, but like one of them is, turns out my illusions shook me more than settled me. There's another one that says, I yearn to be a mother, but Mother Nature must have a different plan. It's
wow.
very heavy sorts of messages, but it's kind of inspiring, and the tone of the music, it's just kind of this musical texture that washes over you. It very much lines up with that kind of heavy nature of the things that what were included in the piece.
You know, Hayden, what you mentioned about it, the music being almost like a storyboard for the animation, I've never seen music expressed that way before. What do you mean when you say that you're telling me that if I were to put this on and close my eyes and just listen to it, it nearly wouldn't have the same impact?
Well, it's the kind of thing, if you've already seen it and you close your eyes, you can sort of envision the visuals in front of you, but you would have had to have seen the visuals beforehand, whereas, you know, a regular music video will have a song that has lyrics typically, and the lyrics kind of tells its own sort of story, and then the visuals, you know, take from the song and basically just visualize it.
Now, when we were talking before, you mentioned something about Watch Me, specifically about where you might find this, someone watching this. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, contrast all of the deep things we just said about On Being. Watch Me is like, I'm at a Witch Watch pop-up store, and this is playing on the TV 24/7. It's YOASOBI, who I cannot fucking stand. It's every single generation of anime has like this one band or this one artist whose songs all sound the same. YOASOBI is that for the 2020s so far. This music video is just pure graphic design, and it's graphic design that looks good, but it doesn't really like capture anything meaningful to me. I just look at it and go, wow, this makes me want to buy the manga to Witch Watch. I cannot wait to buy the merchandise at the pop-up store.
This was also kind of interesting because it's one of two MVs that use the same song as one of the nominees for OP, Watch Me being one of them, and then the other one being Martian from Shoshimen Season 2. And yeah, I tend to agree with Hayden. Watch Me, it does feel very like pop art, crowd pleaser type of stuff. And YOASOBI, if you like YOASOBI, it's more of that. But it does tend to fall into their kind of niche of vocal sound.
I mean, it's interesting that Martian is the other one that is from another series, because you were quite high on it, right, Hayden?
Yeah, I really love the music video to Martian. It's a very simple music video, very simple song, very lax song that I really enjoyed. I didn't have enough time to really develop much of a, like, okay, what is this video really about? But the thing that immediately stood out to me, you know, recently Bad Bunny did the Super Bowl, and his sort of, he ends the show just naming all of the countries in the Americas and saying, together we are America. And Martian kind of gave me a similar sort of vibe, where it's spelling the word Martian in all these sorts of different languages, just like putting that culture and language in front of you, just making you more aware of it. Which, you know, the guy having like an octopus head and probably being a Martian, you know, probably has something to do with that. There's probably some sort of message there, but even taking that aside, like, it's just a really nice sort of low-key song that you can just enjoy casually. I'd say out of all of the ones, it's probably on par for being my favorite, along with On Being.
Yeah, for Martian, what we got out of it in the jury was just like the kind of idea that a Martian would be an alien, right? And, you know, having all these different languages kind of represents that in a way, but also just the kind of familiarity of just somebody dancing, and the quality of the animation was really high, and so that's kind of why it ended up pretty high in our rankings as well.
You know, Eggman, would you mind talking a little bit about exactly how the process went? Because I know in past years, so this is the first year that we've actually split short into short film and music video. And in previous years, it was all mixed together, and it made it kind of hard to directly compare things, right? Because you're comparing, like, I don't know, the Naoko Yamada short with a music video. Did you all get together as a group and like watch these one by one with each other, or did you was it a little bit of a different process?
Yeah, we definitely watched a ton of these together. The jury was shared between short film and MV, and we often just hopped on a voice call and just started like going through our list. There were over 500 this year, just because
Oh man.
as the as the years goes on, we just like find more creators and we're just aware of more, and so we end up watching a ton. But it was so refreshing this year to not have to like share that space for nominees between really highly produced music videos that are super high quality, but they're competing against like university student animation projects that have a lot of like emotion built into them that isn't necessarily like high production or high quality. And this year we have basically twice as many nominations, so we get to look at a lot of those in both short and music video without like depriving one or the other from the recognition that they deserve.
And were you like mad at any of the public nominations? Because so like a running theme in these awards is that public often doesn't know what they're talking about, which you know is kind of a unfair characterization. I mean, public, the popular things are popular for a reason a lot of the time. We've got Monitoring here, which is very great song. It's very catchy. Hatsune Miku. Do, 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 I just looking at the words, I can hear the song in my head. You know, I'm just wondering like how frustrated you were with being given stuff that you may not necessarily have picked, or would you have picked them?
I think the one that was most frustrating for the jury, and me included in this, is Watch Me. And that's because I think that a lot of people may not have realized that this is a separate video than the OP. The OP is very good, but this is just less than that. Like for the OP, we have Ishitani, who directed the winner of OP last year, which was the One Piece opening Asu. And this one is just, I don't know, it doesn't live up to that same standard of quality. And so I mean, I'm in both juries, so like when I have to talk about it twice and one of them is just clearly not as interesting and there's not as much to talk about, it's like it's kind of a disappointment that it feels like a wasted slot, basically.
Still probably more interesting than the 2 Hatsune Miku songs and the 2 Hoshino Marin songs.
Hey, we love Hoshino Marin here. I think
I
Treasure
was
Box won one year.
You know, what I said about On Being, the song being like a storyboard for the music video, I feel like, what is it, A Horny Money World? It's like,
What a name.
being way too on the nose with everything about the song. Like, the song, you wouldn't listen to it without the video, and the video itself is just sort of, you know, kind of a vehicle for the song. But like it doesn't complement each other the same sort of way, the way something like On Being does. The animation for it is really wonderful. Kape was on it, so they have some really stunning talent. But I don't know, anything that gets me to have to listen to VTuber music, I am automatically going to be less receptive to.
No, we picked the wrong guest.
That was interesting in the jury too. There are a lot of people who were just kind of like with the VTubers and also the Vocaloid, Hatsune Miku, and Titu Kasane. There were opinions about those. I personally really like Horny Money. I just think I kind of like how unabashed it was in just like saying, yeah, look, Marine's here to make some money. And, you know, it's kind of,
I mean,
a
she put
meme,
out 2
but-
music videos, so she's probably doing pretty good for herself. So, you know, nothing but respect there.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the reach of her videos, like some of them have 10 million plus views versus something like On Being, which has less than 50,000 views, it's like hard to kind of express how a popular vote can rank them correctly.
You know, music video, I've always had the wish and the desire, and I think this is true for some people, where in the nomination phase, after we've announced them, we often put like a list of a playlist of all the music videos that have been nominated. And some small part of me hopes that some people who like maybe have only ever seen A Horny Money World and Watch Me go through that list, get exposed to the kind of amazing things that are out there, and change their vote for the voting phase.
Yeah, we try to put together a list both for, well, especially for nominations too, because that's when everything is available for people to pick out and try to get into the final phase of voting. And then we also repost the list with the final list of nominees when that's out. But we had a list of about 30 things this year for people to check out, and I think that checking out those is one of the best ways to just like quickly get an overview of what the best things were from the year. And so we're always very proud as a jury to like put that list together, and hopefully some people check it out. There were even a few Redditors who went and watched every single thing on the list, which is a daunting task.
Yeah, and I hope if you're listening to this now, if you're watching this now, you go out and you watch On Being and Kirameku Bansoku and Martian and find something that you might love. Thanks, guys. From Masanobu Hiraoka. Thank you very much for this award. On Being is a very personal film, created as a quiet reflection on existence and perception. I'm truly grateful that it has reached audiences across cultures and languages. If the film was able to share even a small feeling beyond words, I would be very happy. Thank you for watching.